Oh, this is a treat for me, and it'll be a treat for you. A new segment, I'll Drink to That, with true independent free agent, patriot, veteran, my good friend PJ Rykoff, veterans advocate, host of the Independent Americans podcast. It's good to see you, brother, as always.
Man. Good to be here.
Thank you for being my friend in good times and bad. And helping me shape this show to make it something good for everybody. You came bearing gifts, my favorite tequila. I've had the plug in the jug. I will take it out because it is time to celebrate. I'll drink to that are three things that you believe are worth celebrating if they happen. Some may happen, some may not. So we got to talk about them.
Let's do it.
Sound right?
Being here with you alone is reason to celebrate. I'm glad I'm finally here. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to everybody else. I'm ready to get after it, man.
So go ahead. What do you got?
Well, it looks like
I'm not paying attention.
Well, I am. It looks like we're starting off with vets protesting outside the Capitol with Afghans. Mm-hmm. And
now tell people why this is important, and you only have like today for them to get this done, right?
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is that I worked in the veterans community for a long time, and I've never seen an issue that's more important to more people from more political backgrounds.
Yeah.
Right now, as we have this conversation and we enjoy this fine cocktail, men and women are protesting outside the Capitol. And what they're trying to do is ensure that our Afghan allies, the folks in Afghanistan who stood up with us for 20 years of war, aren't left behind to die. There's a piece of legislation that's pending right now that the Senate can make happen tomorrow, can make happen on Monday, and it's stalled. It's got 54 co-sponsors. Both parties are behind it. Every major veterans organization is behind it, and right now it's stalled. And these guys have been protesting outside there since August. They went all around the country. Politics, man. I mean, I wish I could tell you what it is, but that's a great question if you can get Mitch McConnell on your show, if you can get Chuck Schumer on your show.
Is it an immigration thing? Like, oh, this would let them all come here?
I think there's some scaremongering going on, but this is about our national security. If you don't take care of the people who stand up with us on the battlefield, next time we go to war, people won't stand up with us.
So we got to stay on it. Is there a deadline or no?
Well, the Congress is about to go home. I mean, this is it.
So you think if they don't get it done in this session,
if they don't get it done basically on Monday or in the day after, then this won't happen until next year. And I think it's important for people to know every day that we wait, more people in Afghanistan are being hunted and killed by the Taliban. So,
just for helping us.
Just for helping us. I mean, they've been with us in a bar fight for 20 years. We walked out of the bar and left them behind to die.
What's the name of the act?
It's the Afghan Adjustment Act. You can find it on every social media, the AAA. And this is to our friends on the Hill right now, and I think left behind in Afghanistan, too.
To them?
Yeah.
My favorite, Costa
This
Dragonis.
is good. With all, like, let's be honest. This is your stuff.
I know. I couldn't trust you.
This is much better than I could afford.
You would have come in here with like Night Train.
I can't afford this. My kid's outside in the studio drinking chocolate milk.
Should have been here. Yeah. Can't have them around this. Not yet.
Not yet.
All right. What's number two?
Looks like number two is you tell me here, man.
Can be whatever you want.
We talking about Patriot missiles?
Yes, sir. What's happening in Ukraine? Now, there's a good chance that President Zelensky, who I was shocked, a little bit of a commentary on how we're not respecting that situation the way you used to. The guy's Time Man of the Year.
Right.
And I haven't seen him on American media much about, I saw him with David Letterman, but I haven't seen him doing the news rounds. So we're trying to get President Zelensky to talk about not what that honor means, but what the commitment of America giving Patriot missiles means. So we'll see if we get him. That may be Monday of next week. What did the Patriot missiles mean to them?
Well, I think this is an important story for a number of reasons. But America has been supporting Ukraine throughout this conflict, and we've had to ratchet it up a number of times. We sent missiles, we've sent artillery shells, we've sent economic support. This is basically an iron dome that would shoot down missiles. The Patriot missile batteries, folks may remember from the Gulf War or from the Iraq War when I was in Iraq back in 2003, 2004. These shoot down other missiles, and this is really important because Ukrainian civilians are getting killed by missiles, by drones, by air shots, and this will help the Ukrainians clear the skies. Zelensky's going to say it over and over again, help us close the skies. And this is the best step for us to help them close the skies, keep defense of their land, and hopefully start to turn the momentum and continue the momentum they've had. But we've got to stop the bombs and missiles from falling on civilians, and this is one way to do it without putting American boots on the ground.
What's your quick answer to boots on the ground? It's not enough, PJ. This is their fight. We've done plenty for them. We've done more for them than anybody else. We got to worry about our stuff at home.
My grandfather spent 3 years in the South Pacific during World War II, and he would not agree. And I think anybody who understands the stakes in play right now, this is a generational fight. This is about freedom. This is about fighting a despot and a person who wants to annihilate and eradicate an entire people. And NATO's got to stand up for our friends. And this is, in my view, the most important fight of our time. We're not putting American boots on the ground, and we're sending support to a person who's in a country that's very deep in the fight. It's essential.
I want to take calls with you, 1-844-968-7720.
Can I drink during this? Or
Absolutely.
What?
It's going to be the best
legal?
tequila
Can
you've
you
ever
drink
had.
on television?
Best tequila you've ever had.
This is great.
Just don't hurt
This
me.
is great.
And there's nothing illegal.
I wish we
can
could share with all of you out there. You know?
Here we go. You watch it. Vicarious drinking. It's the new
Are we
thing.
going to give the bottle to the first caller?
No way. Literally not a chance. Maybe if it's my mom. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, you give us what your gripes are. You give us your questions. You got somebody who's at the vanguard of the independent movement in this country. In fact, let's drink to that.
Salud.
To you independents. Let's go. All right, I'm here with my man, PJ Rykoff, true free agent, independent. Now, it's time for you to have your say. We're doing some gripes. Dusty's in the control room, but the first gripe has to go to the best man in the room. What's your gripe?
Well, you asked me to bring up something that's got me a little bit ticked off that's going on in America.
Hence gripe.
Well, a couple weeks ago, my New York Giants played the now Washington Commanders, and they tied, which I think is completely ridiculous, shameful, and un-American. There should be no ties in American football.
Not even on my neck.
No, absolutely not. I think you should take that off, too. There shouldn't even be ties in the World Cup in soccer, but definitely not ties in the NFL. And the Commanders are going to play the Giants again this weekend. It's the big game on Sunday night. And Roger Goodell, if you're listening, anyone else, get rid of ties. It's un-American. It's terrible. I think all your viewers will agree.
Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. All right, who do you have, Dusty?
We have Ron from Detroit, Michigan.
Ron from Detroit. What do you got, brother?
My gripe has to do with yesterday's conversation on trans. People getting into each other's business when they need to take care of their own. I'm Roman Catholic and was taught everything I say and do is between me and God and not to judge. Yet most religious people spend so much time and energy doing just that. What do you think as a Catholic, Chris?
I think it has nothing to do with your faith except for yourself and your own family. And this has been politicized. It's a group of people that we're dealing with, a discrete population. For most people, it doesn't apply to you. So why do you have to weigh in on them? I think you make a good point. You got a button on that?
Yeah. I mean, I think America's about freedom, and people should be free to do what they want and be who they are as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Protect your kids. Make sure you have the right standards and guidelines. That's why we had the conversation. Dusty, next. Ron, have a Merry Christmas. What do you got?
We have Martine from New York.
Martine, how
What's
are
up,
you?
Martine?
Hello, Chris, my mishpucha.
Ah, mishpucha, yes. It is one of my famous favorite designations. I love the people of the Jewish faith. All the best to you for Hanukkah. What do you got?
Thank you so much. Listen, you don't have to be the sharpest knife in the drawer to realize that our country is becoming more dumbed down by the day because we are so obsessed with the royals and the Kardashians and the like. I just don't understand why.
You know, I got to be honest. Me either. I'll be honest with you. Even in my own family. Why am I whispering like they can't hear me? They are so obsessed with the Kardashians and the royals. It's the #1 documentary ever on Netflix. And you know some great work they have on Netflix. Not that this isn't great work, but our appetites. And, you know, we've talked about this before. We were developed here in America as anathema to monarchy.
Right.
And yet Americans love the royals.
Yeah.
Make sense of it.
Yeah, I can't make sense of it.
You must.
No, I cannot. I can tell you my wife loves the show, and a lot of people love the show. And I think there's a part of the story that I'm going to touch on that most folks don't realize. Prince Harry is a combat veteran.
Yep.
He did tours in Afghanistan, does a lot of good charitable work. A lot of people don't know that about him. He's a different kind of royalty. You know, the children of presidents over here haven't been going to war. And that's a guy who did it, who put his butt in the line, and I'll always toast to that.
I respect
and
that.
I think since she had such a great question, she should get this bottle.
No, I'm not giving
You
it away.
got to give up the bottle. You got to share it with the people. You're a man of the people. You have to
Martine
share
told
the
me
liquor
before
with the
she
people.
doesn't like tequila. It made her sick once. She
Okay.
was at a bar. She was in college. She doesn't want to revisit it.
All right.
All right. We have time for one more call?
We do. We
'Cause I'm
do.
out of lies.
Okay. This is Howard from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And my gripe's coming up, by the way.
No gripe for you.
Oh, I
Go
got a
ahead.
lot.
Minneapolis,
Dusty, I'm
how
going to
are
fight
you?
for you. You get your gripe, Dusty, and you get the bottle at the end.
Great.
I'm glad you're enjoying that tequila.
Thank you.
My biggest gripe for Chris, to be honest with you, is simply this. Chris, you're on for 1 hour a night. When are we going to get you on for 2 hours a night?
I thought you were going to say it was. I thought you were going to say it's 59 minutes too long.
Yeah, he just got the bottle of tequila. Now, Chris wasn't going to give it up, but now you're going to get the bottle. You're going to get the bottle, man.
Nah.
You've been talking to Dusty, Howard. She loves the more time we have. Look, here's my feeling. I've done 3-hour shows. I've done 1-hour shows. I've done newscasts where I was, 6, 7 minutes of a show if I was lucky. You really have to have as much content to fill the time. It's not about the time, it's about the content. And I'd rather have you left wanting a little bit more than being like, boy, he was sucking wind on that one. So we're still trying to figure it out. Dusty, look, she put up her
More
camera.
tequila will help.
No,
If you have tequila, you can do 3 hours.
If you let me let you talk about the Kardashians, we could easily do 2 hours.
My FB went out. I couldn't hear it.
I like
We're
that
almost
idea,
done
Dusty.
for time.
We could talk about the Kardashians.
Can't hear it.
And we'll start spelling your name with a K, Christopher.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Christopher.
Uh-huh. Cuomo or
That's-
Cuomo with a K.
Everybody loves
That's the
Dusty.
hammer.
This
We
is
gotta
to
go.
you. That's all we have time for tonight, PJ. Thank you.
So,
It's now time for
happy
Dan
Friday.
Abrams. Have a great weekend.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Chin chin.